Daniel Hardigan has found himself a launch point off a pillow, puts it down. Not a great landing, but not bad, Kevin.
Daniel Hardigan, lots of local knowledge here. The guy is a cook in town, and he has the skills to pay the bills. Ride this mountain day in and day out in preparation for these national extreme championships, and there is some difficult line choice.
Well, the judge is also looking for aggressiveness, and that launch definitely addressing that. Good control and technique all the way down, a pretty good difficult line choice, and decent fluidity. All the things the judges are looking for on this run from Daniel Hardigan.
Setting the pace, outrageous speed. How'd you feel about it?
I felt pretty good. It's a little on the edge, but it's soft snow. I pulled it out.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to a cloudy, snowy Crested Butte, Colorado for the 1998 Sector Sport Watch US Extreme Snowboarding Championships. I'm Rod Elish. Along with me, Kevin Delaney, two-time world champion in snowboarding. And Kevin, we've been here for 4 straight years. The ante gets upped every year, and a brand new posse of riders this year.
Yeah, great bunch of talent we're seeing here at Crested Butte this year. But the nicest new thing is the foot of fresh snow, which is going to pillow all these landings and the super steep chutes that these riders have to negotiate. What's at stake? The national title in the free riding category of extreme snowboarding, big wad of cash, and a round-trip ticket to Valdez, Alaska for the king of the hill, the Mac Daddy of the extreme contest here in snowboarding. Unbelievable event, perfect conditions, and the riders are set to go.
Well, we're set to go as well. Let's go to the top, and our next rider here in the US Extreme Snowboarding Championships. The challenge, a run called Sakatumi Ridge, 500 vertical feet, 43-degree average pitch, 2.5 minutes, top to bottom time limit. Eric Wilhelm from Tahoe City, California, currently in 8th place.
Eric Wilhelm here dissects the run head wall like a surgeon on coffee. Let's hear what he has to say about this.
This is pretty extreme, but to me, it's free riding, it's expression, it's going fast, it's having fun.
25-year-old Wilhelm has been snowboarding since he was 14 years old, competing in extreme contests the past 3 years. Best finish 4th in the 97 Squaw Valley Extreme.
Well, I have a lot of confidence in Eric here. He lists his profession as a snowboarding addict, and that is something I can definitely relate to. You can see here just how steep this terrain is. One mistake and you will create lasting scars and good stories. To win this event, the judges are looking for a confident attack down this run, and Eric is showing them just that.
Good clean run.
He just gave this run 2 black eyes.
43.5 points, a total of 198 for 5 runs. That'll move Eric Wilhelm into 2nd behind Daniel Hardigan.
Well, Eric just blasted through those great conditions, tons of snow, and sending up some spray for the judges to see. Definitely attacked this run.
I didn't really know where I was. It was fun. I wanted to get to the dead tree. Got to that. I was stoked to make the 2 steps. I'm pumped.
Nice landing.
Such a fun contest. Right on, man.
So here's the storyline. After 2 grueling days of competition, 5 guys still to ride here in the championship final day. The current standings, Hardigan and Wilhelm, and their points at the bottom of the screen. For the women, 3 riders with a chance to win it all. A very tightly bunched pack. Jules Larson, Jenny Milbrath, Janet Antrim. Our cameramen are dug in. We suggest you do the same. More finals action from Crested Butte coming up in just a moment.
There's only one way you can tackle a fall that high. To become like the fall itself. To merge with the water. To become water. To become water.
Sector, no limits.
The 1998 Sector Sport Watch US Extreme Snowboarding Championships are being brought to you by Sector Sport Watches, official watch of the US Extreme. By Paul Mitchell, professional salon products. And by Sprite, obey your thirst. Back on Sakatumi Ridge, and next up, Adrian Knapp, 26-year-old from Jackson, Wyoming, beginning the day in 9th place.
I just want to be clean and smooth and hopefully get a nice air in there and just put it all together as fast as I can.
On course with Adrian Knapp and Kevin, a lot of ground to cover to make up points on our leaders or even crack the top three.
It's going to be difficult, but Adrian Knapp has a lot of big mountain riding skill coming from Jackson, the other extreme mountain. The difficulty lies in getting used to the Crested Butte conditions and finding your way through the treacherous rocks and trees that make up this very steep run. Adrian Knapp right now looking a little cautious, just kind of surfing his way down the steeps. Hopefully he has something big planned there. He launches himself into it, landing is key, wheelies out of it, but clean landing all the way.
Well, super fast run for Adrian Knapp from Jackson, Wyoming. His best finish 5th in an extreme contest in Jackson. We'll have to see how he does here.
Well, this is where Adrian rolls the dice. Air doesn't count, but good solid big air with a great landing sure adds to the point total and aggressiveness, and he does a great job here.
That felt killer. It was fast. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do, but kind of had 1 or 2 lines picked out and just kind of freaked out and went for it.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Adrian Knapp's 46.5 score gives him 199 total and will move him into 2nd place with 5 riders still to go. This is a 3-day contest. Each rider judged separately by 5 different judges, 10 points per category. Here's more on the scoring from our judges.
Well, if someone's going to get a high score in line choice, I'm definitely going to want to see them take the most technical, steepest, scariest line up there. And not only do they need to make that decision, but they need to take it with gusto. So I'm looking for someone to hang it out on a limb a little bit here.
In the control category, for somebody to get a good score, I really want to see them coming down the mountain with speed, taking some air, and most important, really landing that air and being able to ride out of it, not like they have to stop and slow down to control themselves. They're nice and fluid all the way through.
I also like to see a guy that stands up and is ready for the terrain that's coming at him. I think that is the extreme technique, just be ready for any situation.
Really nice, smooth style, really good hand control, and just looking for stuff like that, keeping their whole run together and kind of just keeping everything smooth, going down the line, not traversing too much across the line, and come on pretty much heading straight for the bottom.
For aggressiveness, I like to see top to bottom speed, big fast turns, staying in the fall line, and again, getting into some of these rocks and keeping it fast through there, staying moving for sure.
Each day over the 3 days, the field is cut in half, partially because the judges want to make sure that these guys have the ability to handle the terrain. Some do, some don't. Those that don't go home. 3 that do will be coming up next. Our ladies champion will be crowned when we come back. Welcome back to Crested Butte Mountain Resort for the 1998 US Extreme Snowboarding Championships. It's time to crown a women's winner, and we begin with 2-time defending champion Janet Antrim.
I'm just going for 3 and trying to make it fun. 3's the magic number. That's all I want, and I'm done. Ow! Ow!
Antrim with 150.5 points, 4 points behind our leader, Jules Larson. On course.
Janet Antrim, the local favorite here. She has definitely dominated this event for 2 years. Hands down victories. But here for her 3rd. I know when I was competing, lots of pressure as a repeat champion. Can definitely play with the emotions and confidence of the riders. She knows this mountain, though. None better.
Very smooth ride so far. Coming up to a jump and a nice launch. A little bit of a butt slide at the bottom.
She jumps right into view of the judges, and then a costly mistake. Definitely only 30 yards away from the judges' stand. She falls in a very simple section, and this contest is very much about control and aggressiveness, and that will cost her.
40 points for the run, 190.5 will set the pace for the women.
Well, the champion might have run into a little kryptonite there. She sits down, just didn't look like herself.
Sorry, I wish I did better yesterday, but today's fun. It's snowing.
Thank you,
what else can you need?
Well, the snow continues to fall here in Crested Butte. Time now for 26-year-old Jenny Milbrath from Crested Butte. She is currently in 2nd place.
A local standout, and she knows this mountain, gets herself into tight situations, but she's changed her riding a little bit for this year on her quest for the championship.
Just be confident in your riding and just believe, just believe in yourself.
Milbrath on course, third in 1996, fourth in 1997. She can do no worse than third here, Kevin.
I love Jenny's style. She's smooth, she flows down the mountain. There's not a lot of drama in her riding, she just gets the job done. Here with these conditions, perfectly suited for her. Just making music out of this very steep terrain. One good turn after another. You can notice here just how steep it is. And this is the air section, probably a 10, 15-foot cliff here. Jenny's setting it up. Janet's done her work. Jenny knows that Janet's fallen, so it's just a smooth run for her here. Lands it cleanly and just on her way to the ticker tape parade.
She knows she's had a good run. Jenny Milbrath very happy with that. 38 points even, 191 total. That will move her into first place.
Jenny's strength lies in the fact that she can make a difficult section look very easy. Here she just flows right through this tight line and off the jump.
I wasn't quite sure where I was, but I did it. I'm psyched.
So it comes down to this. One rider still with a chance to win, Jules Larson from Dillon, Colorado, into today as the women's leader.
She has been taking a more difficult line each day, and she uses a mixed bag of tricks to stay on top of that leaderboard.
I'm getting into the more technical lines. I'm working it harder. I'm trying to be a little bit more aggressive as far as what lines I choose. I've been really trying to turn my snowboard instead of scrape it. Working on controlling the air. Feeling really good. Feeling way strong. Ready to pull it all in this year.
Larson came into last year's final day atop the leaderboard, got conservative and was knocked off by Janet Antrim. He doesn't want to let that happen again this year, Kevin.
So far, Jules has just been cruising down this run. Nothing that exciting. Plenty of powder. I'm just noting a sense of hesitation here in her run. She seems to be stopping just about every turn. She needs to work hard here to hold on to this lead. It's not in the bag. And right now, she is moving into probably the easiest way down this mountain. The judges are going to frown on this line choice. Not a difficult line choice at all, and she's just making smooth, calculated, and very controlled turns. Aggressiveness not being a big factor here in her run. So far, no rocks, no cliffs. This run just about over, and she falls in the wide open powder field. Little cartwheel there. Judges, clear view of that mistake, and that will cost her plenty. I'll give Jules high marks for control on this run, but poor marks for aggressiveness and fluidity down the mountain. In my opinion, too conservative for the final day.
Felt really strong. Got lots of killer power shots. Holy cow. Caught some good air. Felt very in control. Hit a few rocks, but that's expected this time. But really psyched.
Well, Kevin, the judges agree with you. Jules Larson, very conservative on the final run. She drops to third place with that score. Jenny Milbrath is our new champion here at Crested Butte.
I was psyched. I knew I had a good run. I just wanted to point it straight, and I felt confident in my riding today. I knew I could rip it up. I just needed to do it.
Congratulations to Jenny Milbrath, our 1998 women's champion. Coming up, our top four men battle for the national title.
Mom, we're thirsty!
Well, I've got 2 glasses of Sun Fizz coming right up.
Sun Fizz, that's our favorite!
That's because there's a delicious ray of sunshine in every drop. Come on, guys.
I'm filled with nature's goodness!
It's okay!
Hey, what's with you people? I've got vitamins and minerals!
Trust your gut, not some cartoon character.
Welcome back to Crested Butte, Colorado for the 1998 Sector Sport Watch No Limits Extreme Snowboard Championships. I'm Ron Elisha along with Kevin Delaney. We have 4 riders left to go before crowning a men's champion. In the gate right now, Tom Finn coming into today's competition in third place.
Tom's been here before, one of the local standouts. This is how he got into the final day. Day 2, he threw himself off the run called Headwall, and he did some tumbling, but the big macho jump was enough to move him into the final day in third place. Hopefully we can see some more rock jump attacks like that from Tom Finn as he muscles his way down the top of Sakatumi Ridge.
Well, one thing you notice right here in the upper middle section, Kevin, moving very swiftly down the hill.
I think that's Tom Finn's calling card, is just dominating steep terrain, very fast, no hesitation, almost as if he's not even looking where he's going. He knows this mountain that well. Setting himself up for some air time here. Little drop off, actually. Nice face shot there.
Not as difficult as some of the runs we've seen, but very swiftly down the mountain. This may be the fastest run all afternoon.
Well, you don't need air to win this contest, and if you don't land them right, they actually can hurt you, and Tom Finn here utilizes his strength, speed, control, and aggressiveness down the mountain to impress the judges.
Well, he stood tall on the board all the way, and it was a very fast run.
I like Tom's use of control and fluidity as he attacked the mountain, but what was lacking was a difficulty in line choice, and that's going to cost him.
I feel better about that run than my first run. It was definitely a powder run. I feel good about it. I'm stoked. All right, man, good luck. Wait.
Well, the most talked about snowboarder in Crested Butte this week, not a regular on the circuit. In fact, he was a skier with the United States Disabled Ski Team and a 3-time world champion. But he has decided to try snowboarding. Got into this contest and made it to day number 2. This is a 4-run on the final day for Chris Young.
That guy is amazing. I respect that guy to anyone I've ever seen on steeps. To do that, sitting down, to me that's just a different level.
I'm totally impressed. You know, I think first of all, just for the guy to come out here and to compete and put the time in that I'm sure he's had to ride this type of terrain in that system, it's amazing. I'm stoked to be riding with the guy. I think it's awesome.
Well, I'm out here to change the perception, to change the idea that disabled people can't do stuff like this. And I think I did that these last couple of days for sure. And also to prove that we could snowboard.
Well, Chris Young assured us he will be back to compete again next year. Right now, we've got 3 competitors still left to decide this year's champion. Jim Smith, currently in 6th place on course.
Jim Smith attacks the mountain. He is a legend in my mind. Lots of soul in his riding and all the skills here. Jim Smith dices up any mountain. He can attack the steeps. He rides fast. He's got a racing background, so he's going to combine all those skills into this run here at Crested Butte. Yet to win this title, but he can definitely do it if he puts it together.
Well, he's been in this contest for 4 straight years. He'd like to take it all home, and he's got himself a great line here and a huge launch, maybe a 15-20 footer there, Kevin.
Jim's specialty is finding the nooks and crannies that no other rider has gotten himself into. And here you can see the terrain changes to about 55, 60 degrees. Very, very vertical. One mistake here, and he is going to be kissing some bark. Very important that he takes his time or he will be in the hospital. Jim Smith cautiously moving down this run. He's trying to find the mix between his difficult line choice and the visibility that the judges have at the bottom of the run.
Well, this is going to score very well with the judges, and a nice little extra air there at the bottom. And speeding into the finish for Jim Smith from right here in Crested Butte, Colorado, 44.5. That'll put him in 1st.
Made the best of it. Like to consider myself a professional, so dealt with it as it came.
A dominating run by Jim Smith to vault him into 1st place. But coming up, our top 2 qualifiers, Gareth Van Dyke and Christian Robertson, when we come back.
My mind has to have landed there before my feet hit the ground. An extreme parachutist is like an archer with only one arrow. If he's not to miss the target, he must be both arrow and target at the same time.
Sector, no limits.
The 1998 Sector Sport Watch US Extreme Snowboarding Championships. Brought to you by Sector Sport Watches, official watch of the US Extreme. And by Paul Mitchell, professional salon products. And Sprite, obey your thirst. Two riders still to tackle the run Sakatumi here at Crested Butte. First up, it'll be Christian Robertson.
You know, this year is the US Extreme Championships. It's about going for it, and so I'm just going as hard as I can. Gonna take the sickest line I can while still being smooth, and I'd be psyched to be on the top with all these guys.
Smooth is definitely the key ingredient in Christian's style here. Day after day, he's ridden any terrain with a great style that I like. The key factor being the way that this rider holds his hands. You can see a lot of control, a lot of confidence in Christian's style here, the way that his body is very quiet as he attacks a steep terrain. He doesn't have any extra movement of his upper body. He's not fighting his way down the mountain. He's just snowboarding smooth and solid.
Well, this is exactly what the judges are looking for. Aggressively attacking the mountain, moving with great fluidity. And here he's got himself a very difficult line as well.
This the more difficult section for line choice down this mountain. A nice 20-foot rock. He bailed out a little bit, went to the side of it, but now he's working his way over to a very steep section. We've seen some other riders go down a dangerous section, to say the least. One mistake here is going to spell disaster. Christian still on his feet, moving right down it. No hesitation. Well, he attacked that very rocky section with champion style here. Here you can see those hands in play here, just controlled and at his side. I think that's some excellent snowboarding in any situation.
Christian third here in the Extremes last year, but that run could vault him into the lead.
Christian, great run. Tell me about it. Last run of the day, man. Like you said, my style's trying to just get technical, so I figured why not just drop the pillows, stepping through the rocks, just trying to make it look good, you know.
Solid run for Christian there. All the ingredients necessary to win it. Pressure on Gareth Van Dyke.
The drama continues to build here in Crested Butte. One more time down Sakatumi. Let's go to our man on top.
I'm Dave Bryson in the start here in the finals with Gareth Van Dyke. Currently first going into this last day. Gareth, what's it going to take to stay on top?
Good, solid technical line, probably with some good speed. And it's kind of hard being in first place going into the last day here. So just trying to bear with it and go for it.
All right, Gareth, good luck on this run.
This run here from day two, we see Gareth stick a landing out of a very difficult line choice, which propelled him to the first place spot here on the final day.
Well, Gareth, with 167 points coming into today, he needs 41 points to win to beat Christian Robertson, who currently sits on top.
And the crowd is behind Gareth. They are waiting for fireworks and a big show from this man. This year's poster boy with his 65-foot leap from last year. Gareth Van Dyke is sure to please. Setting up for the big 20-footer here. We've seen Christian stand atop this. Christian went off to the snowboarder's left, as does Gareth. Gareth stands up clean right there, though. A little different than Christian's run. Christian sat down just a second, but here we see Gareth beelining it over to the left, where it is filled with cliffs, rocks, trees, and about a 55-degree chute. Very steep, very difficult. Line choice right now, the best so far.
Getting out there where it looks like there's some air down below.
There's some claiming before it's even happened, just getting the crowd pumped up. Gareth points it straight off some pillows. Didn't look that great of a landing, but the stuntman that he is lands on his feet somehow and punches through the trees.
Well, a little mystery behind the trees, Kevin, but everything else just dynamite. Our final rider, Gareth Van Dyke, 45 points. He is our champion.
Great run, incredible. You take the line you wanted, you happy with it?
Hell yeah!
And rightly so. Gareth Van Dyke carved this mountain with strong line choice, excellent fluidity, and after years of trying is now our champion.
I've been doing this for a little while, and this contest in particular, my hometown is, it's always been like the toughest for some reason. I've always done my worst in this one. But yeah, it worked out pretty well from the beginning here.
The final standings from the 1998 US Extreme Snowboarding Championships. Gareth Van Dyke, our champion, with 212 points. Robertson second. Smith finishes third. Congratulations also to Jenny Milbrath, our women's champion. That'll do it from here in Crested Butte. For Kevin Delaney and Dave Bryson, I'm Rod Elisha. See you next time from the US Extreme Snowboarding Championships.